Today I'm going to tell you the final step in getting rid of your phobia for good. How to solve all your problems in 1 minute a day. I'm Dr. Clayton. This is Minute 70. We're talking about phobias. We talked about how phobias are created in the same way that horror movies are created. You imagine something bad happening or some bad consequence happening or yourself failing. We also talked about how the solution involves thinking about that topic in the same way you think about topics you already feel comfortable doing, the kind of more normal way. For example, someone who has a fear of driving might imagine losing control of their car or other people not being in control of their car. And the solution involves imagining driving successfully, driving normally, kind of the way that most people think about driving, a normal way of thinking about driving. Once you understand the new way to think, decide that you're going to think that way, and then continue to monitor and practice the new way of thinking, you're well on your way. There's one more step in order to finalize the solution. With phobias specifically, even after the person has mentally solved the problem, they're still afraid that the problem is not solved. For example, they could be thinking correctly about driving or whatever it is, but when they imagine themselves going out to drive, they're like, oh, I'm going to have the fear again. They have a fear of having the fear again. The only way to take this final step of getting rid of the phobia is to actually do the behavior, but I'd recommend doing it a little bit at a time. So for example, maybe driving on slower roads or practicing or bringing a friend. You'll need to do that for a little while until your brain gets used to the fact that, hey, I don't have this fear anymore. And it'll realize you don't have the fear and you're actually free from it. If you follow this understand, decide, monitor process, you can completely get rid of your phobias, something that modern medicine and psychology has thrown their hands up about. We essentially have no solution for a phobia. They'll just maybe give you a medication to deal with the anxiety or something, but traditional medicine and psychology doesn't really have a way of dealing with phobias. But if you follow this process, you will train your brain to no longer have that phobia. We're going to clear all these problems out of your life. Hit that follow button and we'll continue tomorrow.